Hello, viewers. Lucy Cat and I are here again to do another reading for you. I want to read today a little bit more on William Barr. I have a few ideas I want to look at. I want to look at and see, was he planted, was he intentionally sent there by the Bushes? But before I get into that, I wanted to do a little bit of Tarot 101 for those of you who are either learning to read or those of you who are watching a lot of readers. Just to understand a little bit more about tarot, I thought you might find this interesting. You have the major arcana and the minor arcana in the tarot deck. The minor arcana being the cards 1 through 10, and the royal court. So, the pages, the knights, the queens, the kings. Those are the minor arcana. Those cards represent for us how someone relates to the world, the physical world. That's all about how they're working, how they're operating, how they're relating to the physical world. For cups, which are about emotions, how you're relating emotionally. Swords, which are about intellect and your fight, getting your fight game on, so to speak, how you're relating that way. Wands, inspiration, creativity, communication, fire, energy, passion, how you're relating that way. And pentacles, earth signs, material world, money, finances, but also how you're relating from an earthy perspective in the material world. When you get into the major arcana, I think it's really interesting. The major arcana represents the Fool's journey. And I pulled 3 cards out here from the major arcana just to talk about for a minute. The Fool is the 0 card in the major arcana. The major arcana is also numbered 1 through 21 in most decks. There are some decks that have even more. Same thing with the minor arcana. Some decks have more cards in the minor arcana or less, but usually it's 0 through 21. So there's 22 major arcana cards if you count the 0 card. The Fool's journey is about the quest for the Holy Grail, the quest for the Sorcerer's Stone, the hero's journey. It's about the soul's evolution. So it tells us about inner mysteries. It tells us about what you are becoming in a subconscious level, from subconscious bringing into the consciousness. So if you lay out the major arcana cards, the 22 major arcana cards, you can see the Fool's journey, starting with 0 and ending with 2021, which is the world. I won't go through all the major arcana, but the main cards that I think are really, really interesting, the Fool in the middle of the journey is the Hangman. So it's someone who needs to slow down, get a different perspective on things as they're, in learning to bring the subconscious into the conscious. And then we have the final card, the World, which is about completion, end of a cycle, success, like you've gone your whole soul's journey, or you've gone your whole soul's journey on one aspect and beginning something new. So I find that really interesting. But the other thing I find really interesting is, if I flip this Hangman around, you'll notice that these 3 cards, this is kind of a mirror image of the Hangman and the World card. They're all kind of in a 4 position, which is a very divine, angelic number. It's a very spiritual number about, the soul and the soul's journey. So I think it's really interesting that the 3 main cards that come up quite a bit for us in readings in the progress of the Fool's journey all have a similar posture. If I could do the mirror image of this, you would see it's also kind of a 4. So 444, Google that, look at the numerology of 444. It's really interesting. It's a very divine, angelic number, and does represent, that we are guided on our journey. But I thought you would find that interesting, just looking at a few cards today. I try to do something like that every now and then. I went off on the the Empress card one day in a video talking about the Empress. So anyway, that's my tarot lesson for the day. I just thought you would find it interesting. Now let's get on to William Barr. William Barr, were you I feel like, he's longtime ally of the Bushes. He helped George Bush to pardon all those people involved in the Iran-Contra affair, but he's a, very devout Republican. He wrote this op-ed about Trump and executive power, which got Trump's attention to get the nomination for Attorney General. Was he inspired to do that by the Bushes, who have made no secret, even George Sr. and his wife, Barbara, made no secret their dislike of Trump before they passed away? Was William Barr put up to doing this by the Bush family? What is behind William Barr going for the Attorney General's position? Was he planted there in a way? Did he do things to get Trump's attention because he was inspired by the Bushes and Republicans in general? Dark night of the soul. Yeah, I think this represents looking at our country going through a dark night of the soul, a very troubling time, and wanting to do something about it. And helping to take care of the impoverished and yeah, so sorry, I should have angled the camera down a little bit for you. So in the center, it feels like they want Trump to go away. Yes, they wanted Trump to go away, passing judgment on him, and wanting him out. So they planted a spy. Yes, here's the spy in the foundation, William Barr. This came up when I've read on William Barr in the past, when he was first nominated. He wasn't what he appeared to be. He had this mask that he was putting on. Here in the past, he's had wise counsel from the hermit, the wise man who, wants to shine the light. He's had wise counsel from the hermit. Crowning the reading, new beginnings, new inspiration, new ideas. Near future, climbing to higher ground, but also, putting someone in defense mode, protecting and defending. So to me, protecting and defending our country, the Republican Party, he wants to put an end to this in the near future. He wants the secrets to come out. And he wants to bring stability back to our country. World card, I was just talking about end of a cycle, new beginning, success, sword of truth coming out. And the Fool, the rebirth and new beginnings. Begin the journey again. So, yes, I would say he was a plant. This ties in, if you want to go back and look at some of my older readings, I think one of the first ones I did was in December or early January on William Barr. Let's look at how will William Barr react to Mueller's report. We keep talking about Mueller's report, and I've noticed, all the other readers are also doing readings on Mueller's report. It's sort of supposedly like an outline of where he's at, what he's done, what he's accomplished, where it's going. It by no means means, the Mueller report doesn't mean the investigation is at an end. My guides, when I have asked them, Yeah, it's a juggling act too. Have told me that Mueller will still be working and investigating and working on indictments and things into 2020, into May of 2020. So I don't think Mueller's going to go anywhere, or his work will continue into 2020. You know, he's farmed out a lot to other federal offices, for security reasons, because if they ever got rid of Mueller, he's got it farmed out to other people, like in New York. The protection of all the work that's been put in. So, how will William Barr react to Mueller's report? He's gonna absorb it, go into hibernation. So I don't think we're gonna see anything right away from him. He's gonna go into his man cave and he's gonna absorb it and learn from it and see what's up, and then he's gonna shine his light. Wow, interesting. Excuse me. So, the Queen of Swords in the middle, representing William Barr. You know, although this comes up a lot for me as, you know, the female judges in the court, I feel like it's also William Barr, like taking in the information, using his logic to understand it, you know, not being as rushing into things as much. You know, masculine energy can be really forceful and aggressive. Feminine energy tends to be a little more nurturing. And what it tells me is he's going to take a little more nurturing energy with this report. He's going to absorb it. He's going to learn from it. He's going to use his intellect and logic. But he's not showing up as like the King of Swords. He's going to figure out from a more nourishing perspective and feminine perspective, feminine energy perspective of how this should be brought to light and what to do with this report. You know, it's about awareness and compassion, and you know, feminine energy tends to be a little more creative and inspired. So I feel like, you know, he's going to try to nurture our country through this. The challenge, trying to defend the report. Trying to defend the report, because we know Trump's going to attack it, and all of his cronies, they're all going to attack it. Trying to defend the truth. That's the challenge. At the root of it, you know, the work has been done. The harvest is coming out, or is getting ready to come out. He knows the indictments are getting ready to come out, and he knows a lot of the work is getting ready to come out. So all the seeds, all the work has been done in the past. You know, he sees Mueller hanging on to the report. He sees Mueller just hanging on to it, not releasing it until he's ready. You know, this is about someone waiting and hanging on to what they've got. He sees Mueller has done that. Like, he's not going to release it until he's ready. So all this conversation, how many times have we heard Mueller's report's coming out in September? Mueller's report's coming out after the midterms. You know what? Mueller's report will come out when Mueller is ready. So I'm not going to hold my breath that it is actually going to come out in the next week or two, but we'll see. Crowning the reading, Divine Discontent, tells me that William Barr is going to be very upset by this. there are things he doesn't yet know, coming from the cloud that he doesn't yet know. He knows about certain things that are in the report. He knows where some of the focus has been, but there's things he doesn't know that he's going to learn from the report, and he's not going to be happy about it. Near future, though, he's going to show strength. He's going to stand behind the report. He's going to show strength. It causes a lot of anxiety. The Chariot, swift action, can also represent travel for me. It's a card of travel. Trump's getting ready to travel to Vietnam, but there will be some swift action. There'll also be some transformations through this. The Chariot's like on a journey too, so there will be some transformations from this. And the treachery and hidden agendas will be revealed. Yeah, so all the illusions, all the gaslighting, and someone's going away. Guess who that is? And someone is retiring. So I think he sees this report as what will bring about Trump's leaving office. Yeah, the thief. I just laid a clarifier on it. The thief will have to leave. All the thievery is going to come out in this report, and I think that William Barr is going to stand strong by this report. I haven't cared for William Barr myself in the past. I didn't think it was right to let off all the people on the Iran-Contra affair with pardons and things. But in regards to the Mueller report and Mueller, I think he's going to let him finish his job. I think he's going to stand by him. I do think that he was inspired to trick Trump into putting him in this position so that he could try to protect the Constitution and our government. Let's just ask, will William Barr help Mueller in prosecuting these people? Now, Mueller has prosecutors on his team, but everything goes through the Justice Department. Will William Barr help Mueller in bringing about prosecutions, indictments? There's a lot of sealed indictments he can't do anything about that are already in place. Will he help bring all those out? Will he help to get this president out of the office before we're in another war? Yeah, he's going to be a star player. It's also about he's in the network and knows who to work with, and so here's William Barr again, kind of sneaking around. It can be the thief, but it's someone who's sneaking around, someone who's a little bit underhanded, and there's big changes that are challenging him. So again, he is sort of a little bit like a sneak. He's not what we think he is. He's seen the injury that has been done by people in this administration. He sees all the moneyed proposals, all the money that people have been making off of this administration, and within the administration, making money. I feel like he is going to partner with Nancy Pelosi, crowning the reading here. He is going to work with her also to bring more out, and to make sure that she gets the information from the Mueller report, as well as that she's sharing information back with Mueller. There is fighting and games going on in the near future. This is, you can't tell who's winning. There's a fight going on, and you can't tell who's winning. So it's going to look kind of confusing, chaos energy to us for a little bit. William Barr trying to hang on to what he's got. Justice coming in. And again, swift action and transformation. They're gonna, all the secrets and hidden agendas coming out. That he's gonna make a proposal. And bonding and agreements. Who's he making the proposal to? I feel like he's gonna make the proposal to the Republican Party, that you guys need to do something. For love of country, do something. Do something, impeach him, force him out. It's going to be very emotional, but, send this guy on a journey. Move forward with a plan. He's going to get them to spring into action and bring security back to the country. Bring security and stability back. So, I think he will not necessarily be working directly with Mueller as much as Nancy Pelosi and the Republican Party, actually. Making sure they're on board to do something. We know Nancy would act, but he's got to get to these people in the Republican Party and get them to get off their butts and do something also, and have their support. So I do feel like he is going to support this Mueller report. I do feel like he will have some surprises, learn some things that he wasn't aware of. That divine discontent card, and not seeing everything yet. He's going to learn a lot from it, but I do think, like the Hermit, he's going to go inside and process for a little while. He's not someone that's going to just jump out there and do something crazy. He's going to process what he learns from it, and decide, how to move forward with the information that's in it. So, to me, that's a good thing. We don't need any more craziness. Trump does enough fast-moving, crazy, distractions. So I feel like, someone needs to logically move it forward. And with the Chariot coming up twice there, he's going to move it forward. So I'm not too worried about William Barr. When I first read on him, he appeared as a mask, like he's not what we think he is. So I don't think he's a bad thing necessarily, even though I personally didn't really care for him in the past. It's not a bad thing for the Mueller report. It's not a bad thing for the Mueller investigation. So hang in there, guys. I think it's, it just keeps coming up that Barr, in every reading I do on him, that he is going to support this, once he knows the whole truth and what's going on. But anyway, if you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe to see future ones. I'll see you in the next video. Of course, if you would like a personal reading, email me at jinlintaro@gmail.com. That's always in the description on every video. So if you forget, you can just look in the description on every video and see my contact info. Thank you guys who have been supporting me and donating to my channel. I do greatly appreciate it. That keeps me going because I try to do these readings for you, but it does take time away from personal readings, which is my income. That's what I live on. So thank you again for your donations, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.